be responsible enough to bring some additional communication to the House. Statement request by Hussein Bare, MB for Tarbaj.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a statement, the request for a statement on the rampant cases of human trafficking in northern Kenya. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the rampant cases of human trafficking in northern Kenya. Honorable Speaker, recruitment agencies, though opaque, are operating in Wajir, Mandera, Garissa counties, and they prey on the hopes and dreams of the young generation, enticing them with the promise of a brighter future abroad. Due to the high cost of living and lack of job opportunities in the country, the young generation accept the opportunities to travel abroad offered by the recruiters. Unfortunately, the victims are handed over to human traffickers locally and abroad, who demand ransom from their families for them to be released. The act of recruiting, transporting, transferring, harboring, or receiving individuals using threats, coercion, abduction, fraud, deception, abuse of power, or position of vulnerability is done for the purpose of exploitation. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. One, a comprehensive report on the investigation into human trafficking in northern Kenya and in the country, including the investigation into the operation of involved recruitment agencies. Measures being taken to ensure that the families and individuals who suffer these atrocities get injustice and rehabilitation. The long-term measures being implemented to address cases of human trafficking in the country and formalize labor export from the country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
2 weeks. Give him the mic.
Honorable Speaker, I want to indulge on this because from what I hear, the honorable member is talking about Kenyans being exported outside of the country beyond our territorial boundaries. And it's my honest opinion that this could be more handled by the Foreign Affairs.
Where the question is about human trafficking in northern Kenya, not out of northern Kenya.
But beyond our territorial boundaries. Honorable Speaker.
Okay, clerk, can you check and see whether we can reassign the statement to Foreign Affairs? Be that as it may, whichever committee handles, they will respond to you in 2 weeks. So we skip that. Joseph Munyoro, MP Kigumo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to request for a statement regarding the disappearance of persons in my constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the disappearance of persons from Kigumo constituency. Honorable Speaker, an alarming trend has emerged regarding the disappearance of persons in Mareira sublocation in Kigumo constituency. Honorable Speaker, Mr. David Gitau Maina of ID number 20 as listed there disappeared on 27 of December 2024, and his whereabouts remain unknown to this day. According to his family members, Mr. Gitau went out to complete a large purchase transaction and his phone went silent. He has not been seen since. On the same day, Mr. David Jehia Masharia, whose ID is listed, vanished from his home and his location is also unknown. Additionally, Mr. James Buru Kariuki, ID number as listed from Irima village in the same sublocation, disappeared on the same date and has not been located. Moreover, on January 7th, 2025, Mr. Patrick Karanja Gitau, whose ID is listed, a recently retired army officer, vanished from his home and his whereabouts remain unaccounted for. All these disappearances have been reported to Kigumo Police Station under the following OB numbers: OB number 10/29/12/2024, OB number 10/21/01/2025, OB number 14/01/2025, and OB number 29/8/01/2025. Efforts to trace the whereabouts of the missing persons have faced several challenges, including the fact that Kigumo Police Station, which serves as the divisional headquarters, is operating with only one malfunctioning vehicle for the whole constituency, limiting mobility. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. One, report on the whereabouts of Mr. David Gitau Maina, Mr. Daniel Jehia Masharia, Mr. James Buru Kariuki, and Mr. Patrick Karaja Gitau, and the status of investigations by the police on their disappearance as reported under OB numbers 10/01/01/2025, 10/29/12/2024, 29/8/01/2025, and 14/01/2025 respectively. Two, actions being taken by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration to ensure that the said persons are expeditiously traced and reunited with their families and perpetrators of their disappearances are brought to book. Three, measures put in place by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration to ensure the safety of residents of Mareira sublocation in Kigumo constituency. And four, plans put in place by the ministry to provide more vehicles to Kigumo Police Station to facilitate the security personnel to undertake their operations with this. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Tongoyo.
Honorable Speaker, I will be able to respond in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay. Joyce Kamene, member for Machakos County.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a request for a statement regarding the status of Mavoko Water Supply Project. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee of Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation regarding the status of Mavoko Water Supply Project. Honorable Speaker, the Mavoko Drinking Water Supply Project is an initiative financed jointly by the Government of the Republic of Kenya and the Kingdom of Belgium, in line with the national government's commitment to provision of universal clean and safe water. The project seeks to increase the water supply capacity to 12,000 and 5,000 cubic meters per day to Mavoko and Syokimau areas respectively. Hundreds of residents who have been hoping to benefit from the project, considering the perennial water shortages in these areas, continue to face challenges owing to the incoordinate delay in the implementation of the project. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation on the following. a report on the status of implementation of the Mavoko Drinking Water Supply Project, jointly funded by the Kenyan and Belgian government. A report on the steps being taken by the ministry to ensure the completion of the project and the expected timeline for its completion, and the interim measures being taken by the ministry to address the water scarcity faced by the residents and to protect them from unscrupulous water vendors. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Joyce Kamene. Bowen, Chair, Blue Economy, Water, and Irrigation. Bowen, when you have business, you should remain static.
Yes, I had seen it, Honorable Speaker, but in 2 weeks' time, I will bring answers.
2 weeks' time. Thank you. Next, hold on. Before we go on with the next statements, allow me to acknowledge in the public gallery Light Academy from Karen Langata, Nairobi, Kenyatta University students from Ruiru, Kiambu. On my behalf and on your behalf as a house, we welcome them to the House of Parliament. Next, Honorable Clive Gisairo, MP Kitutu Masaba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to request for a statement regarding the policy on transmission of political messages by Safaricom PLC. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Communication, Information and Innovation regarding the policy applied by Safaricom PLC on transmission of political messages. Honorable Speaker, in recent months, numerous users of various premium rate services providers, PRSP, and customers whose applications for sender IDs are whitelisted as pre-approved entities have been experiencing blocking of transmission of political messages. This raises significant concerns about transparency and fairness of the criteria used by the Safaricom PLC to determine messages deemed to be acceptable and those which are not. Political messaging is a vital aspect of our democratic process, allowing candidates to communicate on their platforms and engage with voters. By blocking certain political messages, Safaricom PLC may inadvertently favor specific political entities over others, which could cause an imbalance in the political landscape. The lack of clear guidelines and communication from Safaricom regarding this policy undermines democratic engagement and the free flow of information. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Communication, Information and Innovation on the following. 1, a report on whether the policy by Safaricom PLC, if any, regarding transmission of political messages aligns with the constitutional provisions and laws safeguarding freedom of speech and communication and consumer rights of access to information. Steps taken by Safaricom PLC to ensure that the process for blocking sender IDs, particularly in the political context, is impartial and free from bias. 3, the policy framework and administrative mechanisms for affected parties to seek redress or appeal, including seeking refund for the whitelisted sender IDs. 4, the criteria for approving or blocking transmission of political bulk messages and the safeguards put in place by Safaricom PLC to prevent the message blocking system from being exploited for political gain or to suppress certain viewpoints. And 5, a report on whether Safaricom PLC allows inter-network termination of messages to other networks, particularly Airtel, and if not, the interventions required for Safaricom to allow inter-network termination and facilitate a common sender ID for messages sent through the two service providers, particularly by businesses and organizations, so as to enhance their brand recognition and improve the overall user experience. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I had raised this statement in the third session, and it took months without getting a response. I hope the
We'll
committee...
ensure you get a response quickly.
Thank you, Speaker.
Communication, Information and Innovation, KJ, Majority Leader, ensure we have a response in 2 weeks.
I will do that.
Honorable Irene Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to request for a statement regarding the safety and security of Kenyans stranded in Myanmar. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations regarding the safety and security of Kenyans stranded in Myanmar. Honorable Speaker, since 2022, hundreds of Kenyans have fallen victims to an elaborate human trafficking syndicate operating under the guise of lucrative jobs offered in Thailand. Many are lured with promises of employment as customer service agents, drivers, waiters, among others. However, upon arrival in Bangkok, Thailand, they are kidnapped and transported to the border town of Mae Sot, from where they are smuggled into Myanmar. Once in Myanmar, victims are subjected to forced labor, coercion, and criminal activities, including sophisticated online scams targeting individuals globally, including Kenya. While there has been a rescue of over 7,000 foreigners, many persons, including a significant number of Kenyans, remain trapped, unable to cross back to Thailand due to the closed border. The conditions at these borders are dire, as they lack basic necessities such as food, water, and sanitation facilities, while the security situation is volatile. The issue of human trafficking of Kenyans in Myanmar is not new, and its persistence highlights the needs of lasting measures. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations on the following. Number one, status of Kenyans currently stranded in Myanmar, and especially those currently stranded at the Myanmar-Thailand border, including the number of Kenyans affected, the current security situations, and timelines for their repatriation. Number two, the immediate action being taken by the Minister of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs to engage with the government of Thailand in rescuing Kenyans stranded at the Myanmar-Thailand border. Number three, measures taken by the Minister of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs to engage with the government of Thailand in addressing the issue of human trafficking, including cooperation strategies and the stringent border control measures to prevent further trafficking of Kenyans. Number four, report of the status of investigation by the Director of Criminal Investigation into human trafficking networks in Kenya operated by fraudulent employment agencies. And finally, number five, steps taken by the government to educate the youth about human trafficking, specifically sensitizing them on verifying recruitment agencies before seeking employment abroad. I thank you.
Defense, Intelligence, Foreign Relations. Bashir, you're the Vice Chair of that committee.
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
When can you bring a response to that?
I think, Honorable Speaker, we can do that in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks. Thank you. Dr. Joyce Bensouda, Homa Bay County.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like to raise a statement regarding destruction of forest in Magadi. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provision of Standing Orders 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Environmental, Forestry and Mining regarding destruction of forests in Magadi for charcoal production. Honorable Speaker, forests play a crucial role in sustaining life and maintaining climate stability. However, in recent years, the Lake Magadi region has experienced severe destruction due to high demand for charcoal. Indigenous tree species are being harvested to meet the high demand for to meet the high increased to meet the high demand for charcoal. The environmental impact for the trend is alarming, which affects such as increased vulnerability to climate change. To regulate charcoal production, the Charcoal Regulation 209 were introduced. Additionally, in 2016, the House passed the Climate Change Act Cap 387A, which provides a framework for the promotion of climate resilience, low carbon economic development. However, the enforcement remains a challenge, with a significant portion of charcoal production remaining unregulated, further contributing to adverse effects of climate change. Honorable Speaker, it is against the background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of Departmental Committee on Environment, Forestry and Mining on the following. 1. Immediate measure that the Ministry for Environment, Climate Change and Forestry to putting in place to curb the ongoing destruction of forest in the Magadi region for charcoal production. 2, steps that the ministry is taking to enforce the Charcoal Regulation of 209 and the Climate Change Act to ensure compliance with sustainable forestry practices. 3, strategies to promote use and uptake of alternative energy source so as to reduce dependency on charcoal to mitigate the adverse environmental impacts of deforestation. And 4, long-term strategies to enhance forest conservation in Magadi and other affected regions. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Bensouda. Environment. Who is the chair environment? Owen? Can you ensure, is that Gikaria's committee?
Yes.
Ensure they bring a response.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker.
Ariko Namoit, Turkana South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to request for a statement regarding gold mining in Turkana South. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee on Environment, Forestry and Mining regarding gold mining in Turkana South constituency. Honorable Speaker, there are mining activities currently being undertaken in the Mnyeusi on the border of Sigor and Turkana South constituencies, Lorobon village in Kaptiri Ward, Lobokat Division, and Kolomai in Turkana South constituency. Minerals wealth in Turkana presents significant economic potential. However, there is a need to ensure mining activities are conducted safely and legally, complying with public safety and environmental standards. These activities, which commence without the involvement of the residents, have exposed them to hazardous chemicals and has caused destruction of farm produce and pollution of water in the area. Notably, the Environmental Management and Coordination Act, CAP 387, provides that projects related to mining ought to have an environmental impact assessment study report submitted prior to the issuance of mining license. In addition, the natural resource is allocated within disputed land and could possibly compound existing conflict among its communities in the area. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Departmental Committee on Environment, Forestry and Mining regarding the following. 1, report on the steps taken by the government, including a report on public participation conducted, if any, prior to issuance of mining licenses in La Minyausi, Lorgon Village, and Kalomai in Turkana South. 2, list of the mining licenses issued in Turkana County in the last 3 years and the operational requirements issued to the licensees. 3, steps taken to prevent any conflict among communities bordering the sites, including consultation with the leaders within the area. And finally, Honorable Speaker, a report on the benefit sharing formula agreed on to guarantee residents returns from gold mining in the county. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. There was a member who requested to joyride on this. Lo Chakapong. Go ahead. Give him the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. I wish to support the statement by the Honorable Dr. Rico, the member for Turkana South, and say, Honorable Speaker, that we have a lot of illegal miners, particularly in West Pokot and between West Pokot and Turkana. Now, Honorable Speaker, these illegal miners are operating without a mining license, and they are mining gold. Honorable Speaker, we have engaged these people, but seemingly these people are cartels, and they are being protected by officers from the Ministry of Mining, right from the regional office in Eldoret to the headquarters here. All those guys who are supposed to be protecting communities are aligned in doing illegal work. When you get them, they have no license for mining. They have no consent from the county government. They have no document. Others will even tell you they have fraudulent documents from NEMA, because when you look at the kind of environmental destructions that they have caused, it is worrying and it is sad. So, Honorable Speaker, I wish that the committee expedites to find out this, because according to the statement by Dr. Rico, these people do not have any mining license. They have even threatened to change the course of a river, Honorable Speaker, and very soon a town called Kainuk will be swept away just because of the activities of these illegal miners. So I wish that these people are brought to book, and if they have applied for a mining license and they have not gotten, let them, again, because they have engaged in illegal activities, let them be denied these licenses. Honorable Speaker, the government, the communities, county government are losing a lot of resources in terms of royalties because these people are engaged in illegal activities, not only in Lamnyeusi, but in many parts of West Pokot, Honorable Speaker. So I wish to say that if within the Ministry of Mining, the CS is the only probably officer not aligned in this corruption web, I wish the minister or the cabinet secretary visits that area to find for himself what is happening. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Otienda Molo. Give Senior Counsel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with your kind indulgence, let me just piggyback on this one very briefly. Mr. Speaker, in your absence yesterday, I did say in this house that in the last 48 hours, I lost 5 of my constituents to mining activities in Rarieda. 5 women who are going about their business, the youngest of them being only 27 years, undergraduate. So, Mr. Speaker, I think the issue of mining is important to address, but it's important to address from my perspective in 3 ways. One is the importance of publishing the various mining licenses that have been issued throughout the country, because I don't think there has been an occasion when, even as elected representatives, we are made aware of the holders of those licenses. Even in my constituency, I am aware that in the county, there are some people who've been issued with those licenses and we don't quite know them. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, it is important for the committee to capture the intersection in terms of mandate. When I inquired for the Cabinet Secretary for Mining, I was informed that there's a part of the mandate that has been ceded to the counties. But I'm not sure that the counties are either aware or clear in terms of the regulation, so that the citizens are left at that intersection without clarity. But thirdly, Mr. Speaker, the most important thing in my view in terms of mining is that you may not stop the citizen from being involved in mining, especially artisanal mining, because the citizen needs money and many of them do not have jobs or alternative sources of income. So they must be allowed to do artisanal mining. What is important is the safety and the regulation. And that safety needs to be provided both by national government and by the county government. So that I would urge the committee to explore that area in the engagement with the Department for Mining so that we can see how to improve on the security, even if it means providing security, whether from the county or national government that can regulate the area of mining, that can fence off and stop people from going from the dangerous areas. That is what we will need to do. But I support the statement, Mr. Speaker, and I urge that the committee looks into it with expedition. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair Mining, who is the Chair Environmental, Forest and Mining, Gikaria. Owen, 2 weeks.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker.
Umulkhair Kasim, Mandera County. Honorable Umulkhair Kasim, Sabina, I'll come to you after that. Give Umulkhair the mic. One next to you there.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Which chair?
Honorable Speaker, I'm sorry. I'm requesting for a statement on the drought situation in Mandera County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 442C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development regarding the drought situation in Mandera. Honorable Speaker, Mandera County, especially Mandera West constituency, is experiencing acute water shortage due to prolonged drought conditions in the country. The main water sources in the county, including earth pans and boreholes, have dried up, leaving the residents without an alternative source of water during this month of Ramadan. The situation, Honorable Speaker, is dire. This situation has led to health concerns due to dehydration and malnutrition, particularly affecting children and elderly. In addition, the situation has led to the death of livestock, which is a source of livelihood for the community. Further, the residents are at risk of developing waterborne diseases due to lack of water for sanitation, adversely affecting their lives and livelihood. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development on the following: measures being taken to enhance the supply and distribution of relief food, water, and nutritious supplements for children and elderly persons to the affected arid and semi-arid areas, including Mandera County during this month of Ramadan. Measures being put in place to provide medical assistance to vulnerable populations to prevent malnutrition and dehydration. Long-term plans to drill boreholes and mega pans to supply water to the residents for consumption, including livestock and other agricultural activities. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Umulkhair. Chair Regional Development.
Honorable Speaker.
Dr. Kapong.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I will endeavor to give a response to this statement within 2 weeks.
2 weeks, thank you. Sabina Chege. Yes, Umulkhair.
I seek your indulgence on this. Since you know we're in the month of Ramadan and the situation is dire and we're going to go on recess soon, could you please intervene and request that we get a
Project
response within a
Kapong,
week.
can you try and bring a response by Thursday next week?
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, just like I said, I will endeavor to give us a response to the statement within 2 weeks.
I'm telling you that
yes,
try and bring on
yes,
Thursday
yes,
next
Honorable
week.
Speaker, that will be done.
Is that okay?
Yes, and that will be within the 2 weeks.
Next week is a week. Or you said within 2 weeks.
Yeah, before the end
Okay.
of 2 weeks. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
Thursday next week. Sabina Chege. Give Sabina the mic. There's one across after Kasheri. Now you have one.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You switch. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to bring to the attention of the House that today is Ash Wednesday, and I wanted to take this opportunity to wish all the Catholic faithfuls in this House a fruitful Lent season. Mr. Speaker, this is the time that the Catholic faithfuls will start a journey of 40 days, a time for prayer, a time for fasting, and also a time to give service to human beings, Mr. Speaker. And so today, Mr. Speaker, we were reminded that we came from dust, and dust we shall go. It is also a time, Mr. Speaker, that we reflect on what we are doing now that we are halfway the term, Mr. Speaker, that we reflect on the services we are giving to Kenyans, and Mr. Speaker, that we are able to serve well. So I want to wish all the Catholic faithful and a blessed time for rain season. But at the same time, Mr. Speaker, also our Muslim faithfuls who started their Ramadan, that this is going to be a fruitful season, Mr. Speaker, as we continue serving this country. I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Yes, Owen?
Honorable Speaker, well, I agree with Sabina, but Ash Wednesday is not only exclusive to Catholics.
Pardon?
Ash Wednesday is not exclusive to Catholics. Even the Anglicans also celebrate Ash. Today at the All Saints Cathedral at 6 o'clock, we'll have our Ash Wednesday service. And therefore, I want to wish all the Anglicans and any other faith that observes Ash Wednesday all the best during this Lent time. And I wish that they observe Lent well and that they continue to pray for this country during this time. I thank you.
Thank you for expanding on what she said. I join you in doing so. Yes, Ondo? Not, is that Ondo? Or, oh, yes, member from Ukraine.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I actually wanted to point out that the issue of the 40 days and the Lent issues are not only confined to the Catholics and the Anglicans. Honorable Speaker, it's really an issue of all the Christians.
Why are you splitting hairs? She spoke as a Catholic at here.
Honorable.
So if you want to speak as an Anglican, go ahead and do so.
Yes, Honorable Speaker. I just want to point out that as we observe the 40 days of Lent, Honorable Speaker, I'm hoping that we're also going to be able to fix the issue of blood transfusion in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, you understand that we are having a problem of the reagents and the blood bags. And so Kenyans are dying in hospitals today because it's a big problem where we do not have blood for transfusion because we cannot test blood. So as we observe this Lent period, Honorable Speaker, I'm hoping that we're able to also sort out this issue as a matter of urgency before it gets into a national crisis of monumental status.
Thank you, Kakusha. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, nominees to 100 national government constituencies development fund committees.
Majority Leader, Owen, is that you moving it?
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to let...
Honorable members, I bring to your attention that there's a supplementary order paper approved by the House Business Committee, and the Speaker approved it for publication and circulation. That is what we are using now.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. That pursuant to the provisions of Section 43(4) of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act 2015 and paragraph 5, 2, and 10 of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Regulations 2016, this House approves the list of nominees for the appointment to the following 100 constituency committees for the National Government Constituencies Development Fund. Honorable Speaker, I would like to give a warning that this is a very long list, very long list. 1, Aina Moi constituency, Joseph Kibi Arap Bore, Philip Kepkemoi Kemei, Isaiah. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Owen.
Yes.
Just say with the names as appears on the order paper.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Speaker, if I can take that again, I'll be. Can I take it again, Honorable?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sorry. That pursuant to the provision of Section 43(4) of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act 2015 and paragraph 5, 2, and 10 of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Regulations 2016, this House approves the list of the nominees for the appointment to the following 100 constituency committees of the National Government Constituency Development Fund as in the order paper. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, as members are aware, the National Government Constituency Development Fund, NGCDF, plays a crucial role within constituencies in addressing socio-economic development in key areas, including education, that is bursaries, infrastructure, healthcare facilities, water projects, security infrastructure, and youth empowerment initiatives. Honorable Speaker, the fund primarily focuses on grassroots development initiatives with its operations and management done by Constituency Development Fund committees established by Section 43 of the NGCDF Act Cap 414A. The importance of these committees, Honorable Speaker, cannot be underscored in regards to the project selection, oversight, and ensuring local input and accountability in the management of the project, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is important for this House to note that the mandate of the previous 290 Constituency Development Fund committees have expired, leaving a governance gap in the administration of the NGCDF projects across all constituencies. Honorable Speaker, therefore, there is immediate need to approve and gazette the nominees to ensure continuity in projects, oversight, allocation of funds, and execution of development initiatives within the constituencies. Honorable Speaker, aware that these committees are crucial in the operation of NGCDF at the constituency, I am urging the remaining 119 constituencies to send the proposed names to the board for scrutiny and subsequent submission to the House. Honorable Speaker, you note that 190 constituencies have not presented their committees for approval by this Parliament. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to urge members to ensure that if they have not submitted names for their committees, to do so immediately so that we expedite the process. Honorable Speaker, the processing of these nominees is done by the NGCDF committee, which is yet to be reconstituted. Therefore, the House has been given the responsibility to scrutinize the list of the nominees and approve them in accordance with the provisions of NGCDF Act and our standing order. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, I wish to urge the House to approve the list of nominees to the National Government Constituency Development Fund committees for the 100 constituencies to prevent disruption in the NCDF operations and to facilitate smooth governance at constituency level. Honorable Speaker, I also want to point that yesterday there were point of orders that were raised on NGCDF management and especially approval of projects, Honorable Speaker, which we urged NGCDF board to ensure that they approve the project so that as money is disbursed, there is projects to be implemented. And we also noted that constituencies development committees, we have received some money right now, around between 23 and 30 million that has been disbursed. And therefore, we need these committees, and we also need approval and code lists to ensure that there is work being done by NGCDF. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I would like to request the Honorable Kimani Chungwa, who is here now, to second.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second, Honorable Speaker. As the Deputy Leader has said, these committees enable all the 100 constituency NGCDF committees to start functioning after approval by the House as is required by the law. And I beg to second. I second.
Order, honorable member. Order. Order, members on their feet. Take your seats. Take your seats. Raham Mukami, take your seat. Honorable members, I propose the question at order number 8, which is that pursuant to the provisions of section 43(4) of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, NGCDA,